All right, everyone. Today we are joined by a legend of a man, a catcher from Corning, New York area, Corning High School, and currently a sophomore catcher at Canisius College. Trevor Henneman, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Coach? How's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Great.
You
Sorry, it's just
surviving the corona?
oh yeah, barely.
so,
Feels
um,
been 5 months, but it's only been two. I don't know.
right, yeah, time moves so slow during this. It's crazy. You're like, oh, it's only like the week doesn't really matter, but then you're like, it's only freaking Tuesday. Like, how is this possible?
I know.
So, Trev came to play for the Twins. Would have been back in the summer of 2016. He played on. That year we had a 17U and a 16U team. I don't really know because Papa Miggs organized all that. Do you remember how he kind of got a hold of you, or how he knew about you, or anything, or?
I kind of got set up with Twins through Dan Savit.
Was it?
Remember?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He kind of like me and Alex Bardo were looking for a summer ball team that year, and it just like fell into our lap, sort of. Just the
Right,
opportunity came up, and it ended up being one of the best things for me. So
right. So, we had you played that 16U year, and then the next year is when we moved home and expanded it, and you were in our 17U team,
yeah,
and had a good summer and stuff. Before I even had met you, when I was still at Gulf Coast, you had already played for the Twins, but before I had actually met you, your recruiting kind of took off pretty early. You committed to UB. Would that been your junior year?
I think it was like
Like in the
November
fall of your junior year?
2016, so junior year.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2017, sometime around there,
yeah.
junior year.
And then during the spring, we get the crappy news that the
Yeah,
the
right.
program's dropped. So now a lot of times, like in our program, we always have kids go to college. They always, but a lot of them stay in the New York, Pennsylvania, area for the most part. Uh,
Yeah.
you were one of the, and I always try to tell this to people. I don't know if they always believe me, but we have kids that get offers to go other places far away from home. A lot of times they just choose, they like a program that's close to home. They choose that. You had, when UB dropped the program, you were kind of back on the market. You
Yeah.
started getting interest from Maine, from University of New Orleans. Um, so you had a chance to go far away, but you ended up staying with a program that was close to home. What led was the closeness to home a big factor in that decision?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's pretty important to be able to have that opportunity to be able to come home and see your family, pretty much whenever you have the time, you have the opportunity, So I think that's a pretty important entity. But, in terms of like looking at other schools that were pretty far away, um, if you look at Maine, that's 9.5 hours in the wrong direction up north, So I
Yeah.
don't I didn't even take a trip up there because I was just like, I don't know if that's even for me at that point, And then New Orleans that's a pretty far ways away for I don't know. I think it's about 14 hours or so in a car. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know if that was really something I was looking to do. Was I was trying to just mainly focus on staying within like the northeast region, I'd say,
Right.
somewhere around there.
And obviously you find a very good baseball program.
Yeah,
And Coach McCray was still the one that recruited you. He was still there. And then you switched to Coach Maz. But
absolutely.
was the success of the program, and like as far as winning and how they help improve their players, was that a big factor in your decision?
Wait, say that again.
The success of the program, both like winning games and developing players for Pro Bowl, is that a pretty big factor in your decision?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the second I stepped on campus, one of the first things we did was look through the Sports Hall of Fame at Canisius, and then you step foot in the locker room, and right on the left you see, kind of the wall of fame of the players that have been drafted in years past, and it's just like you want to see your name up there, And it's just one of those things that at a small school like that, you don't really get drafted picks as often as if you go to a Big Five, something like that, but. So they really take care of their own, and they really, show off the guys that put the work in at the school. And reflect the school in a good way, and it's something you always try to strive for.
Right. Okay, so you come from a pretty successful high school program. It wasn't like you guys were. You there? You froze up for a
Wait,
second.
say that again?
All right. So you come from a pretty
Yeah.
successful high school
Gotcha.
program. You guys weren't state champs, but you guys weren't terrible either. You were pretty good. But even then, going that jump to college ball, it's tough when you first get there. What was that kind of like? Your first full year of college.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I wasn't a little intimidated stepping in there. First time on a college campus. Whole different team, whole different guys to interact with. But it was pretty easy to adjust. I mean, the guys took me right in. I was blessed to have a good team. The guys are just like family to me. So, in that sense, on the field and off the field, like there were no problems. They were pretty smooth. Schooling, even jump into the school classwork, it's a little bit more of a workload. Less procrastinating, stuff like that. But you get used to it kind of fast.
Right. Okay. So your first year, you played a decent amount. You didn't you weren't every game starter, but you played a decent amount.
Yeah.
And you played summer ball. After your high school year, then you played it after your freshman year, right?
Yeah.
In Elmira. So, how much more comfortable and like ready did you feel going back this year, like for your sophomore year, than your first year?
For Myra, you're saying?
No, I'm saying how much more like prepared and ready did you feel going back this year for your sophomore year?
It's Canisius. Oh my gosh. I mean, after seeing a good, what is that, year and a half of college experience,
Right.
and after we had some guys leaving, I knew that I had there were some spots available for guys to step in, and after having all that experience and all that mindset ready to go, there's just nothing else on my mind. Stepping in there and starting off hot. I think that's one of the most important things is getting right on canvas and going. It's the first step you have on the field, just letting it all out the first day. So that's probably one of the most important parts.
Right. Now, was it your first college game, or first college at bat you went deep?
First college at bat.
So that's kind of tough though, because you can only go down from there.
Yeah, it was probably one of the craziest things I've ever had happen to me.
Right.
Like see, like you don't want to say that you imagine your first college at bat home run. Like they always say, the imagery part of the game, imagining your first at bat, what you're going to do to the ball, stuff like that. You never really want to imagine that home run, but I can't say I didn't before the game. Your first college at bat, you're kind of swinging as hard as you can. So I kind of just got a good piece on it. And
My first AB, I hit a foul pop up on the left field line. Third baseman caught it like running down the line. That was my first AB. So you kind of beat me there. But so you're in the middle of your season. You guys you're not off to the greatest start, but you guys always play a tough schedule early in the year. But then all this crap happens with with the corona and everything. What was that like, kind of getting that news? And I think it was weird because it happened so fast. Like it happened in stages, but it happened so fast. Like,
yeah,
what was that like?
honestly, like none of it was really like expected. You know what I mean? Like when it first hit, like we were just like, oh, we're gonna play our season, no big deal. Like
Yeah.
nothing. Like the first thought like anybody had was never that this would happen. So once it kind of was, the time was dwindling down to the point where we knew it was gonna happen. It was starting to starting to get tense in the room. We all kind of knew it was gonna happen, and so we were actually, the time that it happened, it's kind of a weird like timing. We were packed up and ready to go to the University of Michigan. I think it must have been a Thursday, travel day, and for this day specifically, we were traveling after practice, so we were gonna practice right before the bus. I went out and caught one of our seniors in early bullpen before practice, and if I knew that was gonna be my last bullpen with him, it would have been, like probably
Right.
would have made the last line, stuff like that. Like it was just kind of crazy how it all like kind of stumbled upon. Like I see Coach Mask come out of our athletic center with his khakis still on. Like, he's a baseball pants guy for practice, of course. So, that was odd. And so we all kind of had like our suspicions, like, oh, we're not going to go to Michigan this weekend, but it's all right. We're going to go to Florida next week for spring break. Like, no big deal.
Right.
But then, Coach Maz is still on the phone. By the time it's probably about 15 minutes after practice is supposed to start, he finally sits us down and, he's just like, guys, I got to say, we're not heading to Michigan this weekend. We're like, okay, I guess we were expecting. Then when he said, like, all right, we're not going to play another baseball game this year, that was when, like, it all kind of came down, and it was just like there was nothing to say, nothing to think, like, just kind of, you could hear a pin drop for miles in the middle of Buffalo.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts because it's like obviously it's never happened before. Something like this. Like this has been like maybe during the war they canceled the baseball seasons, but like to have this where just everything is
Yeah.
shut down, it's just crazy. So it's tough. You can't go to the gyms and stuff to work out. What are some of the things maybe you're doing around the house or a local park or something, just kind of stay ready for when you guys do go back?
Yeah, I mean, luckily when I was younger, I was kind of like starting to get into weightlifting when I was at a young age, and for maybe 15 or 16 years old, I asked for a bench press for Christmas. So
Yeah.
I have that laying around. I have some weights, foam roller, rolling out a lot, doing a lot of stretches, of course. Being a catcher, that's important. J bands before I throw, making sure getting an upper stretch all the time. Just staying loose is mainly what I'm trying to do, so I don't have to go like the next time I play baseball, like tensed up, like I haven't been on a baseball field in forever. I need to keep going every day, like I would be at school. So
Right. And I think sometimes people they don't understand like, you know, you play summer ball every year and then like once your senior year of high school hits, you played your high school season, you played the summer season with the Pioneers, then you played fall ball with Canisius, then it's the spring, then it's summer ball. So obviously we'd rather be on the field playing right now. Like you guys would rather be in season, but do you think there are maybe some benefits like your body gets rested up, you get a little hunger built up when you finally get a chance to get back out there, it's like
yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, it goes down to the only time you really have, off of baseball activities like Christmas break. Like you go right back to school and it's bang bang ready for the season. So, I guess if you look at it that way, it is good. You have a little bit of time to rest your body and stuff. Like I know when I first got home, it took me about a week to really adjust, get back in. I wasn't really doing much, week or two. But then it's the time of the year you'd be in the season, you'd be doing things that your body, like you should keep doing things that during this time you'd be doing. So that's just when I attack the day, that's just kind of my mindset. It's just like, oh, what would I kind of be doing today?
Right. Yeah, it's like a weird feeling you get everybody. I remember when I went to UF, like that my first fall, I had
Yeah.
football every fall my entire life. So like it just
Yeah.
felt like it's like what am I? Why am I on I'm supposed to be on a football field, not a baseball field? Like I just like my body like knew like
Yeah.
it's weird. Like what you're supposed to be doing. It's kind of crazy, but um, so what are some things? Obviously, you're a catcher. You're a pretty good power hitter. Pretty good bat. So I know if you say like, what do you have to work on going forward? Everybody wants, oh, I have to work on everything. I get that, but like, what are some main things you're trying to focus on to help keep improving your game, take it to the next level?
I mean, right now, one of the main things that I've been focusing on is my flexibility. Because like when we have months off like this, it's so easy to lose that. And well, with the amount of work that I've put in over the last year and a half at school specifically to get to where I am like flexibility wise and how important that is, I need to keep that up no matter what. So that's kind of one of my main priorities. But like when it comes to like baseball wise, luckily it only takes one person to hit in quarantine. So
Yeah.
it's pretty easy. My little league field is right down the street, about within 2 miles. So I get down there, use a cage whenever I want. So I can work out whatever I need to any day, anytime. So pretty easy access, and I can't really complain about much when you have that. So
Right. Yeah. So obviously you're looking forward to getting back to school and kind of a sense of normal and stuff. Hopefully that all happens and as we're not sitting in this damn thing too
Yeah.
with nothing to do. Do you are did you have a plan to play summer ball this year? Were you gonna?
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna go back to Elmira this past or this
Okay, is
summer.
that sure that's probably got canceled?
Yeah, yeah, I found that out last week. Officially canceled.
Right. Yeah. Because I was talking when I first started doing these interviews with like Howie and I talked to Steve, like nothing had been like officially canceled yet. So like it was kind of a weird time of like, do I get my arm ready? Do I not? Like, it's like, it's kind of tough when you don't have like a set time in mind, but I guess it's nice now that, all right, you got like fall ball in your mind. Like I'll be ready for that. Like when that comes. So that's good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, when baseball first got canceled at school, I guess like the next day, one of my closure things was, oh, Pioneers is right around the corner. That's always one of my favorite times to play. At
Right.
Dunfield in the summer. But then at that time, I really did not expect it. But then once we kept getting closer, I was like, I'm gonna have to work on my own for 5 months. So
Right. I think that's where like the most like the hardest part for a lot of people to deal with is like especially like a baseball guy, you want routine, and like you just
yeah,
knows like no one knows like it could be like this how long it's going to drag out. So I think that's like the hardest part for a lot of people.
yeah, especially when I had some schoolwork to do, I try to like have a good routine like every day, like where I had certain times during the day where I'd do certain things, just so I knew I wasn't missing anything. And I knew I could get everything done no matter what. So it was
Right.
kind of the easiest way. That's kind of what I do at school too. So I was just kind of keep the same thing going.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I think that's kind of covers your little timeline for. So we'll hit you with our some rapid fire questions and
All
then
right, great.
get to sleep. All right. Favorite Major League Baseball team.
Boston Red Sox.
Favorite player.
Favorite player?
Yeah.
Mike Trout, greatest baseball player alive.
All right. Number you wear and why.
22, and it's because it's kind of interesting. On February 22nd of 2012, that was like, I don't know. I guess it's kind of corny, but that was like the day, like in Little League, I like had a really good game, and I was just like, this is kind of my sport. Like
Right.
I need to keep working on this, and I don't know why that number stuck in my head, but once I got to college and I saw that number was available, I was like, it's kind of the starting point of my game and how I kept going. So I figured, why not start using that number now in college?
Because I was like, because you didn't wear that with us, did you? What number did you wear
So
with?
again, broke up.
What number did you wear with us?
I think with you guys I wore 31, and
Yeah.
that was just because that was the first number I got assigned in JV when I was younger. I just stuck with it for a little
Oh,
bit.
okay. So I was gonna say I don't remember you being 22, but
Oh,
that's
I was never 22 until school, and it was available, so I was like, all right, we'll take it.
walk up song.
I mean, this is a little bad of me. I still haven't submitted mine for this year, even though my media guy's putting something together. But last year it was "Yes Indeed" by Lil Baby and Drake. I don't know if you ever heard of that song.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, probably.
What, are you the type of guy that if you're like slumping a little bit, will you go change your walk up song, or you just keep it the whole season?
I did that. I think I only changed my walk-up song once, and it was like the first time I've ever had a walk-up song. So like I really thought about it. I was like, oh, maybe it's that. That's why. And then of course it wasn't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I played in the Northwoods League the one summer, and they had interns like college age, like our people that were like our age. So
yeah.
like it was easy. It wasn't like at UF. Like I feel like if you wanted to change it, you're gonna have to like go talk to like all these people and everything. Like these kids were like our age. So if I was like struggling at all, I'd be like, oh, new walk up song, time to change it up. What are you majoring in school? Have you decided yet?
Yeah, I'm a double major in health and wellness and pre-med and communications, and then I have a minor in strength and conditioning.
Okay, so what's the plans with that? What
Um,
your
right now I want to be a physical therapist, so after college, like after undergrad, I have to go to physical therapy school, and then off to the races after that.
Okay. Favorite musician or rapper or like band, whatever.
Back to Drake. Drake, of
Drake,
course.
okay. Favorite movie of all time?
Oh, that's a tough one. Honestly, probably I gotta say Blindside. Blindside's up there.
Shoot, somebody the other day had that too.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that movie.
I can't remember who. It might have been Nevada that had it.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure, but yeah, somebody had Blindside the other day.
Oh, I love that movie.
And then best dugout treat you was seeds, dip. What do you got?
Best I gotta give credit to him, Andy Leader. He's a senior on my team this year. Um every single time there's a 3-1 count, he hold on, he says, oh, he's gotta come on you twice now. 3-1 count, he's gotta come on you twice now. And he just screams it on the dugout, and then everybody else in the dugout just says, yeah, he does. Right back. It like really messes the pitcher so bad every time.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, and
Yeah, of course.
we'll keep following you at Canisius and
Yep.
former school of Jay Weitzel. So we'll keep yeah and everything. It's nice. Every year we got freaking 4 or 5 guys up there, so we always get to.
It's like a feeder team.
Yeah, you get to go to a game and then watch more than one person, so that's pretty cool.
I know. Hey, I mean, if you think about it, going through Twins got me my roommate, got me a few college teammates. So
right, yeah. So that's always nice. But I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your time. Like I said, hopefully this crap gets over and you can get back to playing. And we'll always be watching and rooting for you. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Jericho.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, yep.
See ya.